Good morning. Good morning. Let's give everyone a couple of minutes. I'm going to get my charts up. Let's just vibe out for a second. Sorry, I'm a little late. Lost track of time. So, you guys let everyone know class is started. We'll be going over gold today. Give everyone a couple of minutes to join. Alrighty, perfect. Alrighty, so you guys know the drill. Let's go ahead and get started. Today is Wednesday, June 11th, and we are going to be we're typically going over like ES, but today we're going to be going over gold. So we'll do a full top-down analysis. We'll take a look at what the market's doing. We'll go through our entire drill. Again, we are just training ourselves to get into the flow, how to start the day trading, setting up our positions here, our risk management, getting all the information that we need, and just seeing how just 1 hour in the market can be all that we need to reach our goals. Okay, so if you guys, good morning, Charlotte, good morning, Ty. If y'all are ready to go, let's throw some threes in the chat. Let's get it all nice and warmed up. Let me know you guys are with me, and we'll go ahead and get started. There's some huge movement in the market. Let's see. Let me go ahead and put our Telegram link in the chat here just for anyone that's watching and wants to join our group. Trade Love Academy, we're going to learn market structure. We're usually focused on ES futures. We've transitioned from the Forex market, and now we're just learning how to navigate. Set up our trades. All right, Charlotte's with me. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. All right. So FinViz, this is where we go to look for our financial visualizations, taking an overall look at the futures market here. Okay. What are you guys thinking? If we're looking at this snapshot, what's the market looking overall? Let's just focus kind of like in our indices. Green day, red day. We typically look at like the snapshot of the S&P 5 SPX 500, but since we're going to be looking at gold, you know, we can look at this just to help us gain an overall bias. Let's look at our metals. All right, that's on the daily time frame. Remember that you guys can go over here and adjust the time that is giving us the snapshot of. All righty, so nice little uptrend here. Looks like on this, we can see that there's some support here around 32.83. We have some resistance up here at 34.20 area. We're making, the market steady making higher lows. We'll see how it reacts. This was an area of support, 33.70 was. Price then, broke that support and made a lower low. Still not lower than this low here at 3,300. So let's see how price is. A lot of resistance here at 33.60. So we'll see how the market reacts there. Good morning. Charlotte, you said, what does the brown mean? Let's see. Where were we at when we saw that? I totally forgot. Oh, okay. So like are you speaking about like this color here? That's just supposed to be like a darker red. So if you scroll down here, we'll tell you what the color codes kind of mean. So the brighter the green, like the higher in percentage in the day performance. And, the lighter the red there, that's smaller performance. Darker, it gets into like that higher negative number, higher positive number in the green. So literally just a visual snapshot. So you could just look at these, this overall view and just say, okay, well, that's been really, really lighter. Okay, that didn't really lose that much. Okay, boom, very bright green that gained, more. And it just, adjust as we move forward. Perfect. Okay. Alrighty, so every day, what we want to do, we want to look at our fundamental news. We want to check our Bloomberg news for our technical analysis. Our fundamental analysis. We want to take a look at our technical analysis, kind of high impact news there. So Forex Factory, Econo Day. We'll look at our trading psychology or anything like that. Today, we're just going to be looking at some more insight into gold from Baby Pips. We'll do our trading psychology, and then we will hop on the markets. So actually, let's do our affirmations now. You guys feel it, say it with me, say it after me, whatever you want to do. Alrighty, so I am becoming more intelligent every day. I am a well-informed trader. I am confident in my ability to make money in the market. I trust my analysis, and every trade is an opportunity for growth and learning. I understand the importance of proper risk management. I am a disciplined trader, making calm and rational decisions. My mind is focused, my decisions are precise, and success is my daily companion. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me from multiple sources on a consistent basis. All righty. How do y'all feel about those affirmations? Do they help, get you into the mood, get you ready? Do you guys say any affirmations or just something? We have to give our brain, task. We have to set the mood. We're the ones that tell our bodies and our brains and our minds how to think, how to act, how to perform. So think of this as like, your fuel for your brain. I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys, if y'all have an affirmation that you love or that you say every morning, please drop that in the chat. Okay, Cornelia says it really does help her get into the mood. Awesome. Awesome. And we want to make sure that we're actually feeling this. Don't just say you're becoming more intelligent every day and you don't really think that you're becoming more intelligent every day. We like to think of things on like a bigger scale, but just think of small things. Maybe you learned something about, doesn't have to necessarily be trading, related. So maybe you learned something that you never knew before. What did I learn the other day? Just like a random fact. Oh gosh, it's in and out, but it's just something minor. I'm so happy and grateful that money comes to me from multiple sources on a consistent basis. That just helps you to just stay in a constant state of gratitude and think outside the box. When we're talking about money, it doesn't necessarily need to be $200, $300, $400, $1,000, just small things. I remember years ago when I was still working, like a 9 to 5, in addition to trading, I wanted to sign up for this really expensive gym. But I was like, oh, do I really want to spend $200 a month? And then what happened? HR like dropped some wellness program that included like gym membership up to a certain amount, and boom, gym got paid. So money, not really. So don't think so much money when you're saying that. Just think about opportunities. Even if your sister, cousin, mom, aunt just throws you $20 out the blue, get some lunch, just things like that. Just help you to stay in a constant state of gratitude, constant state of abundance, always happy, and you pass it on. All right, let's see, what's the chat saying? Ty says yes, it gets her into a positive spot. Yep, Charlotte, see, even getting something at a discount or free. Exactly that. I remember something so small. I was at Dunkin' Donuts getting my sugar fix, and the cashier threw in an extra donut in the shape of a heart. Oh my God, brighten up my day. It was just a couple, things small like that just helps you to be consistently, and then your brain starts to subconsciously seek out those things and look for those things. And then you become attracted to those things naturally because now that's what your brain is looking for and searching for. Um, Cornelia says, I'm becoming a better version of myself. I'm trusting myself more. I'm confident, consistent. Oh, yeah. I love those words. Consistent, confident, better version. And better version, people always think we're always thinking of like these major changes. It could be something as I wanted to wake up earlier. And now instead of me getting up at 7, I'm up at 6. That might be a huge, full change, but just those minor steps, to becoming the better version of yourself. We love that. We love that. And we got to be consistent with reminding our brains and telling our brains and instructing ourselves, what we want to do, what we want to become, what we're. Alrighty, perfect. So at 8:30, we have core CPI news coming out. Alrighty. So again, food and energy prices account for about a quarter of CPI, but they tend to be very volatile and distort the underlying trend. The Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, right, usually pays more attention to the core data. So do traders. So consumer prices account for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead to central bank to raise interest rates, out of respect for their inflation containment mandate. So core CPI, big market mover. Speaking of market movers, did y'all join the chat? And we were talking about, so Top Step they dropped like their weekly tip of the week. And so their tip of the week was like eliminate, just kind of like what we were talking about today, eliminate distractions during trading time, kind of getting your environment set, using reliable software and hardware setups, ensuring you're in a comfortable workspace, and having backup to internet and power sources. And we were just talking about, has anyone ever, like, their phone has died or their laptop has died in the middle of a trade, or the powers went out and you were in a trade and you guys join it? It's been kind of funny. Or whenever they've been kind of distracted during trading. So I don't always want to tell you guys my horror stories, but that has definitely happened to me. And that's why I always have pending orders set up, making sure that I am protected. Oh, Cornelia, you did? Okay, you said that it was hard when you have like a full job and kids who are in school for summer break. Oh my goodness. Right? So you're learning to find her zone and push through. And you know what? That kids in the background, work and demands, exactly. That's something that kind of we've all kind of struggled with, like finding our time that we can be consistent in the market. And usually, I know it's so hard to wake up that, that extra hour. But y'all, if you can just wake up Eastern, 4, 5, 6 a.m., those times before the kids wake up, and kind of don't worry about getting dressed or preparing anything or getting your day started, but just waking up an extra hour early and just sitting on the computer before those kids wake up. Thank goodness my son, he's 14, so he's older now, but when he was younger, and being I would have to take him to school in the morning. His school was like 45 minutes away, pick him up in the afternoon. It definitely like threw the morning crazy. And then right when it was time to like drive to go pick him up from school, that's when, that afternoon trade, I was, trying to stay focused and not pull over to the side of the road, while I'm trading and managing those trades. And I found that just waking up for that end of the Asian session, open, the Euro open, London open, that kind of time, because actually those markets are very, very, of they have a lot of volume in those markets. So everyone's waiting for the New York open and thinks like, this is the best time. This is when I need to be in the market. But if you can just grab an hour before those kiddies wake up, I had to do it. It was annoying, but it definitely gave me that time, gave me that focus. It was clear. I wasn't worried about anything else because my day hadn't started yet. I didn't worry about, I had to do this, I had to do that. This was my me time. So open my eyes, holding them up with some toothpicks, but I was at that computer. Even, you might not be able to get into, you know, my room is upstairs, walk all the way downstairs. It's cold in the morning, turn on your laptop. So sometimes, I have all my screens here. Sometimes I just had to bring my laptop in bed, 4 o'clock in the morning, hit that sometimes I didn't even want to turn on the lamp, so we just got to do what we got to do and just, don't make it perfect. Just do it. Oh, Ty, the internet acting up. What about for our workshop? We had that workshop last year and my internet was just giving us so many issues when we were trying to do those classes in the evening. It definitely could be frustrating. So you have those backup plans. I was listening to a TED talk and it was talking about like how we can reduce our stress. And one of the tips were knowing what our stressors were, if we had like predetermined stressors, and working around that. So if we know that mornings and getting all the kids ready, it's really, really hectic. And so what do? On Sunday, already pick up the clothes for the week, already, pack the lunches, get some of those things that we know are going to cause stress, and already figured out. If we know that, for instance, they gave an example about a guy who always lost his keys or left his keys. And so and then he would always have to he would leave work, come home, have to go back out. And it would happen 3 or 4 months out of the year, he would leave his keys somewhere, couldn't get in the house. And then he figured out, let me keep a spare, somewhere hidden around in his garden or something like that. So that once that stressor came and it happened, a couple months later, it was already like, okay, this is already fixed. I knew this was going to happen and we can move forward. So we just have to work around them. They're not going to stay little forever. Like now, that was such a stressful time for me with, my son and school and all that kind of stuff and trying to trade full time and not being able to have those hours that I needed, on the charts. But like it just lasts for it's like gone in a snap of a finger, because now he's like 14. He's helping me with things. He can look at my trades and help me manage them to a certain extent. Like, watch when this candle gets up here over price reach here. So, we take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't last forever. We work around it now, and, make it work. And it's not going to be like that forever, so. Amen, right? Definitely. That's why I kept saying that, because that's what I used to have to tell myself. Like, he's not going to be this young forever. I'm not going to be, he can drive himself soon, you know, and that just helped to get me through the day. And lo and behold, now, you know, free days. Okay, so, all righty. Okay, anyone trading petroleum? I do love Econo Day for the news because it does help to give us the prior um, consensus information. You know, it gives us our release schedule so we can know when the next day this is going to be released, which is July 15th. So gives us some more information as to what that. So Forex Factory tells us, you know, when that data report is being released. And then, you know, Econo Day gives us some more information as to what happened or what that data report gave us. Was it, you know, underperforming, within consistent, and all that good stuff. Alrighty, I am trying to cut out coffee, so I'm a little I am not in my focus state right now. But let's see, drink of the day, bubbler. Have you guys ever tried this? Let's see if we can see it here. It's an antioxidant sparkling water with some natural caffeine. So hopefully this gets me in the mood, gets me into a nice focus state. Natural caffeine. So I think it's like ginseng in there. And it's only like 70 grams. So it's not too bad. But I do like something warm in the morning. So I think I'll make a tea, but maybe that can get me right. Alrighty. So Baby Pips chart art. Let's see what Baby Pips is talking about with gold. And then we'll head on the charts. You guys, because we have that CPI news coming out, trying to just, you know, give us some other things to talk about so we can let the market do what it's going to do and then come back afterwards, catch that aftermath. We can look at it. Let me drop this link in the chat. And I'll drop it in our Telegram group as well. Okay, so let's see. While we're reading that, give me one moment. Don't want to be in the market, but we'll look at it. Today we're going to be reviewing gold. So this is the 5-minute chart. We'll just have it here at the side so we can, you know, when that let's see what's going on. Alrighty, can you guys see that? Oh no, hold on 1 second. It's not showing on my screens. Oh, so you guys weren't even seeing the notepad and all that stuff. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's see. We'll let the market do what it does while we're taking a look at some sentiment here. I'll say, okay, so this is according to Baby Pips. We love this website, gives us a lot of information, a lot of resources here. You guys definitely do a deep dive into Baby Pips, add it onto your routine. Okay, so for our, we were just talking about how price is making higher highs here, and pivotal levels, as we can see, S1 and S2 are down here. This is kind of the P4 area at this 33.38 level. Whoa. Okay, so U.S.-China trade talks might be maybe making progress, but gold isn't flinching. XAU, USD, or GC1 if you're trading futures, is still catching bids as safe haven peeps stay strapped in thanks to the falling US yields and some nerves ahead of this week's CPI and next week's FOMC. So with the dollar losing steam, gold has got some room to flex. XAU USD has been making higher highs and higher lows since mid-May, and recently found support around the 3,300 area, which is near both the 100 and 200 SMAs. This level also lines up with the ascending channel support on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so a few more bullish candles could support upward momentum and take gold back to the 3,400 previous high, or even the 3,425 level near the top of the channel and the R2 pivotal point at 3,441. However, if gold comes under renewed selling pressure in the next few sessions, watch for red candlesticks and a clear break below the support channel. That scenario could bring the 3,250 previous low back into play. Whichever bias you end up trading, don't forget to practice proper risk management and stay aware of top-tier catalysts that can influence overall market sentiment. All right, it's just provided for informational and educational purposes only. Of course, everything here. Oh, gotta be a premium member. Dang. Alrighty, so I love how this article really kind of breaks down support and resistance in those levels, why that was a level of support, why it might be resistance, kind of the same thing we go over every day. Okay, if it breaks this support, what may happen? If it breaks this resistance level, what's the next area we could potentially be looking at? How do you guys feel about that information? And it does that with a couple other assets as well. So definitely keep baby pips. Let that be one of your news sources if you don't like Bloomberg. Okay, so, alrighty, so we kind of went over that. Let's see. Alrighty, I think we are set to go. How's everybody feeling? You think this market is ready for us to hop in? Or does it need a couple more minutes to cool down? What do you guys think? Oh, yep, Charlotte. It is definitely helpful to make decisions or just give you some insight into what, may potentially happen, especially ahead of these news reports. It did exactly what the article said that, if it breaks past this point, we could see the, price making a higher high before making that low. So perfect. All right, this is on the 5-minute time frame. We saw that we were looking, price was at here at this level. Let's zoom in. So price was at 33.60. We had this huge engulfing candle on the 5-minute from the CPI news coming in. So we had a high here. This was our previous high right at this level. We'll bring our line over just so we can see where that break of structure happened. Am I supposed to be able to hit tab? Okay. We saw that this was the area too where our R7, R8 level was. Did you guys peep that pivot level shift? We saw that in live time where this was the R7. We had a pivotal shift. So if we were in this trade, actively managing our trade at this time, I don't know if we would, recommend that because of this data release and, that crazy movement. But let's just say, You were in that trade at that time. Once you saw the pivotal level shift, you could then extend your take profit. So once you saw that shift, you could, move your take profit. Instead of it being at the 33.70 level, it would be, here at the 33.78 kind of level here. And as you can see, price is still making higher highs. Still buying. We have our cross. Of course, we're on the 5-minute time frame, but I just wanted us to take a look here. Okay, our RSI is overbought, still making higher highs. Now we are at the R8. Is this a buying or a selling level? Let's see. So market can do two things. It can continue to make higher highs, and we can look at our pivotal zones on the higher time frames, or we could wait, see how this market this 45-minute candle opens and closes there, and see if this is the level that price is going to make a lower low. Come back here, pull back, and let's just say if we had our fib from this low here, so let's just say this was the high and it's confirmed, saying if we're going to take profit around this 50.61.8 level, or even extending it down to this P4. So if that's one scenario that can happen. We definitely want to take this down to the lower time frames to perfect our entry. We would, of course, need to see price make a lower low and come back down here. This is a preemptive trade, so it's not confirmed that there's going to be a little pullback yet. We are just looking at what the market is expected to do because it's at this R8 kind of level here. Right now, though, we're still getting buying signals. We haven't got that confirmation on the 5-minute time frame just yet of this sell. So that's one thing that can happen. The other thing that could happen is that price could break and make a higher high and continue. We could get another pivotal shift, and it can continue to make higher highs, and then we would be in that buy. We definitely need to wait to see, or wait for a price to give us that confirmation before we make any moves. But that would be what we would be looking at. Do you guys see exactly why I have set up those two positions, the long and the short, in those areas for those take profit points, those stop loss areas, and why? Do you guys see it? Okay, so we have some information here. We actually could extend this over. My lines always, I don't ever know how to do this. I'm supposed to hit tab or whatever. I don't know. It never works. Anywho. Alrighty. So we have this information here. Looking at it, this new 5-minute candle has come in. It is 8:40. We see that price is now doing what? It's struggling to make this higher high. So remember, we were waiting for price to make a lower low, break below this level. Don't have that confirmation yet, bringing price. So we want to see price break below 33.76 in order to get our confirmation to bring this to bring price, and our take profit is at 33.60. So let's now zoom into the smaller time frames. Alrighty, so our 3 minute, really unofficial time frame there, but it just helps to give us a kind of intermedium between the 5 and the 1 minute. Sometimes the 5 minute, when scalping especially, might be too high of a time frame. 1 minute might be too low of a time frame. You don't, so sometimes that 3 minute just helps to give you a good idea of what is happening in between time. So we see the last 3 minute candles were red here, making lower lows. RSI oversold here. I'm sorry, overbought. We haven't had a cross, price has not started to cross down, giving us that confirmation that it wants to start selling just yet. But this information from these candlesticks, also the pivotal zones on the 3 minute, the RSI as well, definitely has, giving us that confirmation that price may be selling. I'm going to adjust my entry here because we do know with these pivotal zones, with these EMAs, that price could use these EMAs as support, as it did here. Price crossed down, touched this 20 EMA, this 10 EMA, use that as support to continue to make higher highs. So just to make sure we're not wicked into a trade or, prematurely here, just want to set my entry at a spot, at an area where that lower low, price making that pullback, is definitely confirmed. Well, it looks like we're having some major selling coming in. Just want to make sure though. This is on the 1 minute time frame. Okay. So price made, this was the high, the previous high here. Price made a higher high, just making higher highs, higher lows. Let's map it out. Boom. And now we had this break in structure. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up our trade. If you're using your prop firm account, I'll be in our
The market is open.
Yay. I am in our practice demo. I'm not going to be in my combine or XFA here. And we would look up gold. GC. Our charts are linked here. We're having selling momentum on the 3 minute. Go ahead and put in a trade, a sell. It's going to go in for 3 contracts. Let me clear up my charts here. So we have our top step levels. Top step daily levels are these lines here. Gives you information on our last week's high, yesterday's high, settlement. Ding, ding, ding. You guys look that up. Keyword here, something new. And futures coming from the Forex world. Oh no. That's what I get for having all of my crazy hands. Talk with my hands a lot. Knock over my juice. Or water. Bubbly water. Okay, so these definitely help us in conjunction, like with our pivotal zones. These are very helpful because price either magnetates toward these levels or, uses them as support, resistance, things like that. We can hide that. We'll just be keeping on our EMA cross. That's a part of our strategy. So our strategy, someone asked me that, what strategy would we say that we're using? Besides market, of course, we combine market structure, but we're using our 1020 EMA cross, and we use our pivotal levels, our at EMAs, and our, other, and our RSI to just help us gain some insight into when these crosses may happen. how to get in and how to get out. So we're using our 10-20 cross, very simple strategy. Okay, so great. Wasn't wicked into this trade, but we have our levels here. So remember, I'm going to take this from this low to this high. This level here is going to be our take profit zone. And we're about to be activated. Are we?
Order filled.
There we go. All righty, so let's go ahead. Oh, zoom in here. Definitely not risking 1500. Let's go on our 1 minute time frame just so we can perfect our entry. Oh, whoa. Oh, I'm not in, see, and that, here we go. In live time, just looking and seeing why, knowing if you're in your micro or your minis. I wasn't even paying attention. I am in a mini contract here with gold instead of a micro. So crazy, because look at how much I would have to risk for 3 contracts. So, oh, definitely got to pay attention there and picking your pairs. So we definitely needed to be an MGC micro gold. Right now, as we can see, let's look at, okay, so price fluctuations. So we entered this trade at 3372.8. We are in with 3 contracts here. Every dollar that gold moves, so if we went to 31.8, every dollar that gold moves is going to give us $300 because we have 3 contracts here. So not the best move. Let's go ahead and put this in our correct. Let's put this trade in correctly here. All righty. I'm going to do the same thing. Just choosing the correct asset. I want to get the correct price here. Map it out the same way. Now we see our RSI is oversold here, so we might get this little bounce back up, which is good for us trying to get back into this contract correctly. I mean, into this trade position with this correct size, in the correct asset. Wait for it to come back down. So we can be activated in. Have you guys ever done that? Hey, Maureen. Have you guys ever went into the wrong and traded the wrong pair or the wrong asset? That happens to me trading Forex. And that's when, again, we're not focused. We're not paying attention to what the market's doing. We're in a rush.
Order filled.
Happens, but okay. Here we go with some realistic numbers. Okay, so again, we were entered in this trade here with our micros at 3370. Okay, 0.7. 3369.7 is 30, would give us $30. So that $1 move, right? Just one complete dollar move to the downside there would give us $30. That means that every contract, if we were just in here with one contract, that would give us $10. So if you're going, so you have to know your price fluctuations, how many contracts you're in for. So with 3 contracts here, every dollar that gold moves, that's giving us either plus $30 or minus $30 along the way. So this move here, 33.70 to 33.62, should give us $250. This is our 50. This is TP1 here at 33.65, TP2 here at 33.60. And so we'll just take a look at what price is doing around these levels and adjust in live time. Okay. So ideally, if we were in this trade, we would have ideally wanted to be in this trade right, around this level. That would have been a preemptive move though, because we hadn't confirmed that price made a lower low. So the next area is once price made this break here and broke this level here at 33.76, that would have been the better entry. That would have been once we got our confirmation. Down here, we are already oversold. Prices, trying to make these lower lows. Not the best entry because you definitely price could, just continue to, shoot back up here. However, love our wrinkle charts, our wrinkle bars here on the 3-minute with gold as well, giving us nice red bars. The darker the bars here, telling us the stronger the selling momentum. So that's giving me, some good confidence. Wasn't that Cornelia's word? Was it confidence, consistency? What else? Remind me. But that's giving us the confidence that, okay, I can stay in this trade. It's not going to, pull back on me all the way back to my entry. I'm only risking 150 points. And market's just shooting down. Let me know when you guys think that we're safe enough to move our stop into profit. When you see an area that you would feel comfortable moving your stop into profit?
Order filled. Order filled.
Sweet. Ooh, how we didn't even get a chance to move it in profit. That baby hit that take profit, that TP area. It blew through our 50%. It came straight down here to our 61.8. Now this is our decision zone. Typically, we're looking for buys here, right? We're at the 50. Let's go ahead and set up a new trade that when price comes up above this 50 level, will be activated into that buy. However, if price continues to sell, you can put in a sell order there, pending order for that sell. We're still getting selling momentum. Now, let's watch this in live time. We want to see price come back above. We're oversold. We want to see price making that higher high. This is our buy zone. So you see exactly why I love our pivotal zones. So price, if we were looking for that reversal, it broke out of that area, made lower lows, came straight down here to our 50.61.8 level. And now we're going to be looking for these levels to either take a buy, price continuing to the upside, or if it's going to continue to sell, we don't care about being right. We have both of our entries in here. So if price continues, got a little too high there. And we can kind of, we'll see what it does, but we're seeing that the sellers are unable to push price below 33.60. This looks like it's forming to come back up here. I'm going to get into this trade just knowing that I'm only going to be risking a couple of points here, just 4 points if I'm activated in that trade, just to get a little better entry. We'll see if it happens. Let's take a look here. All right, so price kind of did exactly what we were expecting it to do here, came close enough, came to 33.61. We were wiped out of our trades. We'll see if, the market wants to bring it down here to 33.60. Right now, it's just a decision zone. So that's why I say you remember to take profit, have that already, because the market can make those huge moves and you already want to be out of the market. Let's go ahead. Okay. If you followed our original plan here, price did hit this 33.60 level. That's our P4. It's also
Order
touching.
filled.
Oh, so now look, my sell was activated. I can take away this buy. I'm just risking 150. Let's look at a potential. What's another area that this market could potentially come to? I don't know. We'll see this 33.55 level. So just a couple of points. Looks like it's a couple of points there. Let's look at our 1 minute. All right. And we see that our 800 EMA is here at 33.56. Let's see how this next candle. Remember what I said about this 800 EMA, 200 EMA, definitely an area that the market could use as support.
Order filled.
Were we out? Dang, that's awesome. Market's still just shooting lower. We were wicked out of that. We were out of that trade. So let's see our next levels. If we were still in this trade, the market can come down here. We'll be looking for 33.44 or 33.40. Let's set this baby up. Okay. Short position. Remember, if we're just in a situation like this here, we want to make sure that we have our entry after, a little bit below that low. And again, take profit here at 33, 33.45 and 33.40. Mark those areas on my chart. Just trying to be very careful here because this is also a 786 area, which is another buy zone. So again, I like my pending orders when it's near decision zones like this. And I just place my, you don't want to place it directly at that high or at that low. Remember, this is like the 1 minute, time frame. We're about to hit this 9 o'clock hour here. So we want to be very cautious because price could continue to make lower low. We have our lower lows. We have our cross here. Of course, this is the 1 minute. We're just looking at price action. We have all our, markets just telling us that it's making lower lows. However, now we're getting our RSI crossing up. Price is also near like this 786 area. So major decision zone, because price could just be coming back up here to just make a lower high and then continue down here, which is, if it came to the R8, we're good. And it's coming all the way down here to the S3, where typically gold follows market structure very, very well. And so it's usually going to continue in that trend. It's just not going to stop mid pivotal zone. Can you show me again how to do buy and sell stop on top step? Charlotte says she got it now. Oh, Charlotte, you're a top step girl? Okay. Alrighty, so my buy was activated. Again, just risking 150 there. And where would I take this to? You can do a couple different things. You can do a fib here and just take it at that 50% level. You can go according to your trading plan. Does your trading plan only tell you that you need 5 points? Does your trading plan only tell you need 10 points for your goal? What, if you were just doing the minimum there for Top Step, what is the minimum? $200 a day. You need to have 5 days where you've made $200, a minimum of $200 to be eligible for a payout. We just did that. We've only been here for an hour. It's that simple. It is that simple when you know what you're doing, when you have the steps laid out for you. And we didn't even do a top down analysis today on air. Of course, we kind of went over. We did our market sentiment. We kind of got see what the streets, Wall Street, what they were saying, what they were looking for. Those long term investors with gold. We looked at market structure. We popped straight into the 5 minute and just not played, but utilized our pivotal levels and our EMAs, our structure here, and just stayed on the right side of the market for that and took our move. All right. So even something like this, when we see price trying to look at this 15-minute time frame, trying to make a higher high, I would adjust my stop loss just a little bit. Something like this. Is because I don't want it to make a lower low, but we know that price can come down and wick those lows, come close to those lows before continuing to buy. Right now, we saw that this 15-minute candle, we had this huge engulfing candle on the 15-minute. Then we had a double top right here at 8:45, and price just came right back down. Common when we have those huge engulfing candles, it fills that, you create that gap, we come back, and then we see price will then continue to on that buy trend or wherever it was, whatever it was doing. Right now though, I would want to give this trade just a little bit more space. So definitely, if you are in a buy, take your pending orders. So Charlotte, I'm sorry. Did you right click so that you can do your market buy, market sell, and that's how you can put in pending orders? You can also place them here by pressing, I believe. Can you do that?
Order filled.
Yeah. You can do what I just did, Lord. And just market buy it by clicking on the price and your bid and ask there. I think it was going to do that in live. I didn't see. Oh, I had 5. Oh my goodness. I thought I had 1. So that's why I say I like during lives, I do not want to be in my live account. I got to be focused. But if we were in our live account, this is exactly how we would play the market in this situation. I just hate that it's coming down below this level. Looks like it just wants to bounce. So we'll just see exactly what's going on here. This was kind of our support zone. So even though we're risking 522, we can do that since we had that huge move where we made a couple $1,000s. Okay, so this was our low here. Well, okay, again, we're on the 1-minute time frame, but we're only on the 1-minute time frame just because we can see price action just gives us some more detail. But of course, our analysis, our trade setup was on the higher time frame. We're not getting sucked into this 1 minute. We're just adjusting our trade and getting some additional information. So because right around this area, all here, this price point, 33.50, this was used as support in the past. Price did not make it quite there, but I wanted to make sure there's a lot of orders here that, I didn't get wicked out and price do exactly what it did. Just come down here, tap 52, came down here to 50, I mean 33.51 before just continuing to buy. And it did exactly that. Okay, so now what are we looking for? We're waiting for price to make higher highs, break above this 33.60 level, and continue to buy. We can see our RSI giving us some buying momentum. We can see our SARS kind of shooting, coming below our candles here, which give us buying momentum, which not buying momentum, but it tells you that, oh yeah, the buy trend, price is still making higher highs. Our RSI on the wrinkle charts oversold as well on the 3-minute. So we'll see how price plays around this level. Ideally, we would have wanted to wait for price to break out of this level to get into that trade. A little bit early getting into the second trade here. Got a little happy there, got a little excited. Of course, I would ideally wouldn't be risking nearly this much. If price kind of breaks below, see if you guys can see this. Price breaks below kind of this wick here at 33.52. I don't need to wait for price to get down here to 33.49, So I can just be, risk even less there. Alrighty. It is 9:07. How does everyone feel? Charlotte says, when do you move your stop? When price makes higher highs, like either on the 3 or 5-minute time frame. So it didn't really give us the chance to move our stop here on the 5-minute. I'm sorry, let me erase this. On the 5-minute time frame, it just kept making lower lows. But ideally, so in a situation like this, I would kind of just be trailing it. I mean, let me not say it didn't make lower lows. It made lower lows with every 5-minute candle. So you have a couple different options. You can move your stop to below. Okay, so if we were entering, for instance, with this sell here, we were in this market, and let's just say we got in at this price point. Let me clear up some of this. All right, here we go. Let me be clear. If we got into this short here, we're looking to take the market down to this level. Alrighty. Once this new 5-minute candle would have opened here and we would have shot down below this low, this previous low, that would have been my cue that I could, at least bring my trade to break even. Once, this new 5-minute candle would have opened, then I can kind of trail it, in that sense, kind of like that. For instance, we'll do it in live time with this new trade so we can see. Okay, so we have our stop loss placed below the lowest low. We have our take profit. Let's see where our take profit would be for this area. Okay, so remember we had our bracket orders. I had an order here at the top and had an order at the bottom. If it was going to continue to sell, I was looking for these price points here. Did not do that. Instead, so we can delete that, activate it for my buy. We got in around 33.60. So we're just going to be risking a couple of points here below this lowest low. And now where would our take profit be? Give me some numbers, guys. 33.74. Let's just say 75 or 33.80. Ty says you're feeling, she has a difficult time feeling confident about when to get back in. Oh, yeah. So she's feeling great about this. It's good to see. And that's why I like the workshops, because we were able to place trades, follow them, just pay attention, focus on how we're moving our stops and things like that. We could see it in live time. We could, look at how to get back in a trade, what happens if we get stopped out. So I do love when the market moves and gives us like live action, and we can get in and out, boom, right then and there. So I'm glad we got to see that. Do you guys see how we're also like how we utilize our fibs in getting in and out of those trades as well? How we stay confident in this kind of price movement. We know that we get that break, retest. We got a break. We'll probably get another retest. But what is the market starting to do? It's starting to form the patterns that it usually does before we get that break. And as Charlotte said, the R6, she's going to take her trade to the R6 or the R7. So Charlotte just gave us her trade idea. Let's go ahead and put in our take profit according to Miss Charlotte's trade idea. She's been tuned in every week. She's getting it. My girl got, her Top Step account. That just makes me so proud. Charlotte's been rocking with me. Oh, we had a time in Mexico for that boot camp all those years back. That was awesome. Charlotte made sure me and my sister didn't get lost. Remember when where were we headed? Oh yeah, over to the pirate ship. And I was looking around like, wait, where'd everybody go? Charlotte was in the back. Come on, Fatima, right over here. I got my eyes on y'all. Don't worry. We were just having a time, not even paying attention. Thank gosh. Our auntie had our back. Okay, so R6 off track. R6 is what? 3370. So I like to label these charts. So 3370, TP1. And then TP2 is going to be 3375. And then we have 3380. So we got a couple points here. All right, let's remove that and actually put our correct position tool on. And let's work on trailing. We got a couple minutes here. Can work on trailing. Okay, so we have our take profits, we have our destination, we have everything that we need to succeed and map out our next trade. We're all working on our confidence, getting back into these trades. So let's do it together. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so if we're in this trade, we are in profit already. We are $318 in profit. Now, looking at where I would move my stop into profit. Once I see price break above this level, first of all, I'm going to move my stop into profit to break even, just a little bit above break even. We see that we got 15 seconds, for a new 5-minute candle to form. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop into profit because I've already seen this was our huge engulfing candle that took out this price movement here, trying to spot that reversal, that pull, reversal to the upside here. So that was our confirmation candle that we were buying. Now we have this new 5-minute candle here. I'm going to move my stop into profit. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see. Yep. A little bit above where this end of this candle wick. Just because now if price comes all the way down below there, I am out. I want to now my next place that I'm going to wait for price to then break above is a break above this high. Let me make this. Yeah, I can keep it like that. Break above this high. Once price breaks above this high, we get a new candle. Then I can feel confident that price is now it has confirmed that it's making higher highs because this candle was the confirmation. This green candle, though, it's an indecisive candle, but we're still making higher highs slightly, but definitely higher lows. That's been confirmed. My stop is in profit. This is a risk-free trade, but I don't want to get stopped out. So once price makes that higher high, we get a new 5-minute candle coming in, and I can just trail it below, this low here. Basically, what I want to do is trail my stops according to the lows. So if we can't really see that too clearly, we can use a line chart. And basically, wherever you see these little valleys here, that's where I'll be trailing my stop to. So this looks like this is forming a new valley here, just a little point there. I can continue to just trail my stop and trail my stop as we get higher and higher. The thing about trailing your stop is that you don't want to get stopped out. So you want to make sure that once price goes into profit enough that you have moved your stop into profit. So it is a risk-free trade. You don't want to leave too much money on the table, but you do want to make sure that you give your trade room to play. Give your trade room to play out. So I would say, move your stop into profit once you get that confirmation, because we definitely don't want to have a trade that was in profit, then go against us. And now we lost a trade that was once in profit, or we didn't, whatever the case may be. We want to make sure that we are moving our stop into profit, still giving the trade room, still making sure, while simultaneously still making sure that, we don't make a winning trade into a loser. So there's a couple different factors in moving your stop into profit. We don't want to be too early. We don't want to get wicked out. We let it play out and we just take our time. So right now we're already $286 in profit. We could make it play out. We could let it, play out. If it hits the stop loss, it hits our stop loss. We're in profit either way. Okay, so first take profit. Again, in with 8 contracts. Accidentally, we would definitely not be risking, this much here. Remember, what if we just end with one contract, every dollar that it moves with this micro is 10 points. So take that with a grain of salt. We know that we want to give gold at least like 5 to 6 points. Stop loss, so does that go within your risk management? If you're in a 50K account, you definitely don't want to be risking more than 600 points, per day, $600 per day. That but that's a good stop, daily drawdown, so that you can still live to trade another day. Okay, so we are in profit. We are now $662 in profit. Price is just making higher highs. Let's see. Let's go to the 1-minute time frame and see if we can move our stops any higher, So we made a higher high. Price has made a low here. This is where we have our stop at this low. Now price has made a higher high. Looks like it's making a lower low, right here at this green line. So I like to wait for, those new 5-minute candles to open until I move my stop again. Just because we don't want to get wicked out. We want to let this trade play out. We have our wrinkle charts giving us nice green buying momentum. So we know that the market is still buying, giving us volume to buy. We know we're in profit. So we don't want to make it too close. We don't want to have our stop loss too close. This is the new high. This is the new low. We have our line charts here. Of course, in the 1 minute, it's going to look crazy. 5 minute. And we have a new high here. This was the previous low, so we'll see what it's going to do. All right, today was an amazing day. How are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling? We took a couple trades today. We did our big one. We took a couple trades. Let's see here. See if you guys can see this. I'm trying to make it a little. Okay, there we go. So today we made a beautiful mistake. Made $2,200 there, and then we got on the right side of the market with the right contract size and the right symbol here. We took one trade, made 250, another trade made 100. So in that account, we're up 350. We are in this current trade already secured in $286. So, whoa. We're good. We're good. How many jobs have we had where we worked for an hour and a half, didn't leave our homes, chilling at our computers, hanging out with our friends, and made $350 within an hour and a half, doing what we actually like to do? I don't know about y'all, but not leaving I did work from home a couple times with those, but not in an hour. Definitely not in an hour. Okay, so now we see this wick here. Of course, again on the 1 minute, I wouldn't mind bringing my stop loss up a little bit. Maybe not exactly to this wick where it's 400, but because I'm trying to hold on to this trade and let it play out. So I want to give it breathing room. But you have to know yourself. If you definitely are good with capturing that extra $300, you want to be done, you got other things to do for the day, and you're out, then definitely don't let it go below this wick here. Just give it some room. So 33.61, maybe that might be a stop. Move your trade into profit. Again, this is on the 1 minute time frame. So you got to just know what type of trader you are and what are your goals in the market. Looks like our stop loss might get hit. I'm feeling good today. So I'm just going to move it a little bit closer to break even and let the market do what the market's going to do. I'm actually going to bring it up to TP2. See how this baby plays out. Now, once price breaks above, we have a new level. So we have this line here. We're waiting for price to break above this price point, 33.63. We haven't had a candle. We've had breaks above this level, but once we get a candle close above this area, then I would feel more confident bringing my stop loss up here to this 33.63, 62 kind of area. So how is everyone feeling today? Oh, thank you. Ty says she can't wait for that to be her full-time lifestyle, where you are one step closer. We've seen it done today. So that's the thing. If we could do it together in live time, obviously we see that it can be done. So it's not like something that's impossible to do. Oh, I don't want to get stopped out of this trade. I'm going to just trust my analysis. Let's see here. From this low to this high. Okay. If it goes below that area, I'm only risking 322. So you guys got to, depends on what type of trader you are. If you just wanted to grab your monies, grab those couple of $100, get back in the market once you see that buying come back into play, definitely you can do that. If you want to hold on to your trade, keep your initial trade analysis. The higher time frames are giving you confidence that price is still buying. You got a good entry here at this break. You don't want to be stopped out. You don't mind sitting through a little bit of a pullback. We saw that if we took our fib from this low to this high, the 50.61.8 level was right. Oh, see? Live. Oh my God. I love the live markets. I love streaming because we were just talking about our tip of the week and things like this happening. Maintenance on our broker, internet going down, things like that. What if we were in a trade? We didn't have our take profit set. We didn't have our stop loss set. Would we be freaking out right now? Oh my gosh, what happened? Okay. Alrighty, so this is supposed to be at 70, right? I moved it. Okay, perfect. Once we get the price to cross above here, we should be smooth sailing. Look at our wrinkle charts are back in the green state. We're back buying. We're looking good, guys. Perfect. Oh, Kelly, where you been, Kelly? All right, so we had a nice green day today in the markets. We set up our trades for the remainder of the day. We have a couple different take profit points. We have a plan and how, depending on what type of trader we are, what type of risk, we are willing to, take on, how we can trail our trades according to market structure. So we had a couple different points there. If we just wanted, we had our stop into profit, a couple 100 points, so we had a couple of different ideas. Did anyone get out of this trade, get their, take their monies, get their profits, and then waiting for a re-entry? Not the crazy job. I get it. Oh, good, good, good. Hey, Kenyan American trucker. Do you teach market setup? Yeah, what do you, I think that was market setup. What we just did in class today. We took a sell, we took we took two sells, we took a buy here, and now we're just waiting. Of course, when we see, the market making those huge moves, New York Open is about to happen in 1 second. Sometimes, the market may be a little exhausted, but definitely just check our recordings in the Telegram group. We set up the market. We usually start. Are you meaning from the higher time frames? Because typically we do start at the 4-hour. We set up our swing trade. If you were a swing trader, what we will be looking at there, we usually take a look at intraday trades on the 15-minute. Then we usually zoom in to the 1 minute. So whatever type of trader you are, you should be able to find some type of value in this strategy and how to set it up to be in accordance to your particular trading style. So let's see. What else? Maureen said, please, what's the mini contract symbol for gold? MGC. MGC. As we can see, we were in GC, had this huge trade. We went in with 3 contracts, made $2,200. And then we got we practiced proper risk management and got in with the correct asset. You are welcome, Kenyan American Trucker. I like that. I like that screen name. Okay. Kelly says gold is a hater. Gold was pretty good to us today. Gold was pretty good. Gold was feeling nice. Um, so we are in nice little profit here. I don't want to get stopped out. So I'm going to go with my original trade here. Stop loss at this point. See, just price is just probably pulling back our higher time frames, or it could have just, or it could be, I could be wrong. It could be, doing one of these and just kind of pulled back here, and now coming down to the 50, the 61, the S1 and the S0. So I will know for sure if I see price, break below this level of support. So break my stop loss. If it hits my stop loss, that tells me that, well, I was wrong. Let me get back into the market and I can make those monies back here, getting back in with these 10 points. Of course, being in here, we're with 8 minis was not the plan. It was an accident. So of course, would not have been risking $500 if I was in this trade with my correct contract size. But that's why we practice in our demos. And if we feel confident, then we can, take these over to the live accounts. But awesome. You are very welcome, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Remember, every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Eastern, we are back here doing exactly what we do every week. You guys have an amazing week. Trade well, trade smart, trade intentionally. You guys see, we do it every week. If I'm showing you how to do it and we're doing it in live time and you guys are helping me out and we're taking these trade setups, it's not something that's magic. It's not something that, you are I don't know. It's attainable, guys. We do it all the time. You guys are capable of it. Y'all have an amazing day. Have an amazing trading day. Brag in the chats. Let them know what you guys learned. Tell them everything that they missed. Make fun of them for not being here. Take care.